I really think there are things that we can be positive about today, and it's important to mark them when there are days like this on two fronts. Mainly on the Delta front. I mean, if you take your lead from the news alerts that you get onto your phone, you'd be forgiven for never leaving your basement, locking yourself into it. Such is the level of threat out there. And of course, look, I accept the reality that Delta poses some level of threat and that it is absolutely more transmissible, what the public health experts tell us. But the doomsday merchants, they were talking as recently as only a few days ago about exponential growth. Our numbers have flatlined here in recent days. Every day we get the alerts that come in and we get the news and we get a press release into News Talk from the Department of Health, and we're expecting this huge figure. And yes, it did jump over the last week, but over the last few days it has been steady. And the other thing we were told as well is that we had to look at the UK and look what was happening there. Well, let's look at the UK and what's been happening there. In England, cases are down about 50% in the last 7 days, despite the reopening of the economy. In Scotland, they're down 60% in the last fortnight. The Netherlands, down 43% in the last week. In Portugal, one of the first countries in Europe, in mainland Europe, to deal with a serious Delta outbreak, their cases have flatlined too. So perhaps Delta won't be as awful as some people fear. That is one of the first things we can be cheerful about. We can be optimistic about. The other reason to be positive is our vaccination programme. 53% of people in this country are now fully vaccinated. 70% of adults are now fully vaccinated. We've basically caught up on the UK and Israel, two countries we were lauding only weeks ago for the pace of their vaccine rollout programme. We've got walk-in vaccination centres opening around the country this weekend. And NIAC have given this recommendation as well, a green light for vaccinations for 12 to 15 year olds. All of this is going to make it easier to get jabs into people's arms, and credit where it is due, the vaccination rollout has been a phenomenal success.